Hello, viewers. Today is September 9, 2024. I'm here to share my thoughts and opinions on the US presidential elections 2024. Today, I would like to specifically talk about the debate that's going to happen tomorrow, September 10th, between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. So let's look at some of the topics that generally during these debates that the moderators would ask. We have seen several debates over the past several election cycles. So based on that experience, we can pretty much guess what kind of topics that they will cover. First, most likely they will cover a topic on the economy. In this particular topic, I think both candidates have got some challenges and opportunities as well. They might ask Kamala Harris the question, say, people think that they are still struggling in terms of paying for their groceries, paying for their gas bill, even though the current Biden administration says that they have created so many jobs, but inflation is quite high and the people still feel that the economy is not doing well for them personally. So this is a potential challenge for Kamala Harris, and I hope she will have some answers ready. But it also gives us some kind of an opportunity for her to come and say that we have come out of COVID at that time and we created so many jobs. But if I win, I'm going to be the president and I will formulate these kind of policies that will help the economy. And she can say that she's going to be her own woman, and it will give her an opportunity to basically slowly carve out a policy position for herself, and then she can slowly deviate from the Biden administration's economic policies. So it gives some kind of an opportunity for her, but definitely there is a challenge because inflation is quite high, and the Fed Reserve is most likely going to reduce rates in the next meeting later on this month. But this debate is happening before that meeting. So obviously, interest rates are high and people are finding it difficult to pay for their expenses. So I think it's one area where Kamala Harris has the weakness to actually formulate a policy position that is not too tied to the Biden administration. From the Republican side, Trump can say that his 4 years were one of the best years of the US on the US economy, and he can start bragging about most of the things that he claims that he has done. But still, this particular issue helps him because the people perceive that he has done a good job. So the perception is more important than reality in these kind of circumstances. So I think he most likely will come out on top on any issue that addresses the economy. But Kamala Harris does have some kind of an possibility to carve out a position for herself, and then she can just slowly get out of the shadows of the Biden administration. So I think that's what I think most likely will happen, but they will definitely ask specific questions to both these candidates on economy. Then another issue that they will definitely bring up is immigration, especially the illegal immigration. Here again, Trump can claim that he has built walls, he kept the border safe, and so many other things. Some of them are true, some of them are blatantly false. But nevertheless, the perception among the people is Trump did a better job on the border than Kamala Harris. Here again, Kamala Harris has challenges, but also opportunities in the sense that she can go and claim that they were about to pass a bill in the Senate just a couple of months ago, but it was a bipartisan bill. But Donald Trump called the senators and basically told them not to proceed with it because it basically removes that as an issue in the election campaign. So he wanted to keep that issue alive for the election. So I think she can say that this is big. He is playing political football with this issue, and she has a potential to come out on the top on this, but she has some challenges definitely on this issue. Then they may definitely ask about the reproductive rights issue. And in this, from my view, Donald Trump will be on the back foot because he was the one who has been claiming as early as January this year, stating that he was the person responsible for the Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, because he said he was the one who appointed three very conservative justices to the Supreme Court, and they helped him to overturn Roe v. Wade. So he was also talking about how other Republicans over a period of last 40 years were not able to do that, and he was able to accomplish that. So at this point of time, it will be very difficult for him to come out and say that he was not for that particular uh, decision of the Supreme Court, but he's trying to go to the middle, so he's actually flip-flopping. So the moderators might ask questions on exactly why he's changing his position now. And in this issue, Kamala Harris definitely is going to come out on the top. This is one issue that Democrats have always come out on top. So I don't think there are any challenges for Kamala Harris in this particular issue. If at all, she has got only upside if she talks about this issue and she can pin the blame on Donald Trump to say that he was a person who basically supported those three justices. He nominated those three justices, and that was the reason why the Roe v. Wade was overturned. So then moving on from the reproductive rights, they will definitely ask questions on foreign policy. Here, in terms of foreign policy, there are two major issues. One is the ongoing war in Ukraine, and the other is the war in the Middle East. If you look at the first issue on the ongoing war in Ukraine, Trump is going to be definitely on the defensive here because he has always supported Putin, and he also claimed that he can end this war a day after he becomes president or something like that. But I don't know how he's going to do that. But still, he is perceived as a person who is definitely not on the side of the Ukraine. But on the other side, Kamala Harris is going to follow most likely the Biden policy, which is to provide support, both foreign aid as well as military equipment for Ukraine to fight the war in Russia. And I think the mainstream American people also believe that it is very important to fight that war so that it's not a slippery slope, and Putin will then, if you allow him to take Ukraine, he will then go and try to take the other countries as well. So I think in this particular Ukraine war, Kamala Harris may be able to come out on top. Then there is this other war in the Middle East, and this is a little complicated. I think the position of Donald Trump is very clear. He is going to support Israel no matter what. That has been his position. So while the majority of the US people are in line with that kind of an argument, but they also feel that the proportionality, the amount of warhead that has been used on the innocent people in Gaza, most of the American people do not like that. They saw a lot of innocent kids dying due to the war. It's granted Hamas is a terrorist organization. The people understand that. They know that Hamas is a terrorist organization, and what Hamas did last October was definitely an act of terrorism, and people are very angry at that. But at the same time, people feel that so many innocent kids are being killed now on a daily basis, and they don't like that, and they want the war to come to an end. And this is where I think Kamala Harris is caught on that Biden foreign policy of giving support to Israel, not just in terms of foreign aid, but also in terms of military equipment, and also providing support to Netanyahu. But there are some who feel that they should become a little bit more neutral. And so this is a very nuanced position. I think Kamala Harris will have some challenges to justify what the Biden administration has done and why the ceasefire deal has not been signed as of yet. So I think on the one issue on Ukraine, Trump might be defensive. On the other issue, in terms of the war in the Middle East, Kamala Harris might be on the defensive. Then they will most likely ask about the domestic policy. This is where Kamala Harris has a chance to come out and explain exactly what she wants to do domestically. In fact, it gives her an opportunity to talk about her vision and also how she is going to move away from the Biden policies, because she can say that I am my own woman, and I was a vice president, but if I get elected, I'll be president, and these are the policies I would like to implement as a president. So she can talk about her child tax credit and the new child tax credit that she proposed. So she can talk about all the policies that she has been talking about on the campaign, to say that she's going to be different than Biden, and but at the same time she's going to continue the good policies of the Biden administration. So there are challenges for her, but I think there are enormous opportunity as well for her. For Trump, I think he's going to keep talking about basically putting tariff on the goods that are coming from other countries, and I think the moderators might be able to ask more follow-up questions to say that tariff is basically an indirect tax on the actual consumers, so you're not doing the consumer any good. But I don't know how that whole discussion will pan out. It'll be very interesting to see, because there are a lot of financial analysts who have analyzed this, and they said you cannot just put tariff on foreign goods and expect the price of the goods to go lower. It's going to go high, and the consumers are going to pay for it. There is no way. He keeps saying that the foreign government is going to pay taxes to the US. How will the foreign government pay taxes to the US? So that's basically an argument that will not go anywhere. So nevertheless, it's going to be very interesting in terms of the domestic policy. And then on taxes, Kamala Harris needs to come out with a clear policy. I think she has mentioned that she's not going to increase taxes on people making less than $400,000 a year. And she's also announcing several policy proposals in terms of child tax credit and all that. She needs to tell us exactly how she's going to pay for it. On the Republican side, Trump needs to say how he's going to pay for all the tax cuts. And talking about the tax cuts, as it is, the 2017 tax cut is going to expire by 2025. So how both these candidates are going to address that issue, because that tax cut gave some kind of a tax relief for the lower and middle income people, but they gave a huge tax cut for the millionaires and billionaires. So I don't know how they are going to renew that bill, or how they're going to restructure that tax cut in such a way that the rich will pay a little bit higher, and then the people who are making less than 400,000 pay a little lower. I don't know how this is going to work out, but this will be a very interesting conversation in terms of the domestic policy. Then the other area that they can touch is on the healthcare. This is another area where it favors Kamala Harris. Trump, on the other hand, during his first term, he talked about basically repealing the Affordable Care Act, but he has stopped doing that. But the moderators can still ask questions on exactly what his plan is, if he's going to continue with the Affordable Care Act. And Kamala Harris on the other side is going to say that she's going to further enhance the Affordable Care Act, and she's going to increase access to people, and she's also going to make that health insurance more affordable. So from that perspective, I think she's in a better situation to handle healthcare. Then the other issue will be most likely environment. So here, again, most of the younger voters tend to look at environment as a big issue, whereas the Republicans, including Trump, see that it is a non-issue. Global warming is some kind of a myth, and they don't want to address that. So this is again one area where Trump will be on the defensive, and Kamala Harris, I'm sure, will be very well prepared, and she will talk about the green energy initiative under the Biden administration and how she's going to expand that in the future as well if she gets elected as a president. So that environment as well is going to potentially help her, because most of the younger voters tend to believe that global warming is real, and they want to do something about it, which is a good thing. So then finally, the moderators would ask, I believe, or I hope, about the electoral process and the whole democratic process in the US. which is to say, both these candidates, will you accept the results of this election? This is very important because Donald Trump even today had said that the Democrats are going to rig the election, and they're going to win by fraud or something like that. So it's very important for the moderators to basically pin both these candidates down to give clarity on exactly how and when they will concede. If the results come out that Kamala Harris has won, will Donald Trump accept that result? Similarly, if Trump comes out on the top and he wins, will Kamala Harris come out and say that she will concede? So this is very, very important. And as as another question on this particular issue, they can even ask, what is Trump going to do if he gets elected? Those people who have been booked on the January 6th insurrection case. So he keeps talking about giving pardon to them. So that is not good for democracy. So I think the moderator should ask him a specific question regarding them. So those are some of the areas, some of the issues that I think the moderators will ask questions to both these candidates. But this is just basically the substance or the issues from the issues or the substance perspective. But then there is also the style, right? So Republicans think that Kamala Harris will not be able to answer questions properly. She will possibly do exactly like what Biden did on the first debate. So they are actually setting the bar very low for her to clear. And similarly, from a Democrat side, they think that Donald Trump might go unhinged, and he can call her names, and he can get nasty, and they are expecting some kind of a tantrum from Trump. But I think on both these cases, I think it is a wishful thinking from both these campaigns. Trump might surprise us all, and he might be very restrained for those 90 minutes. You never know with Trump, but I think their advisors and their campaign strategists would have told him to just restrain himself for the 90 minutes. Similarly, Kamala Harris is a very well educated and very experienced in terms of these settings, in terms of answering questions. So I don't think that she will do what the Republicans are expecting, that she will not be able to answer questions and she will do exactly what Biden did on the first debate. So in both these instances, I think both these candidates are know the importance of this particular debate. This is probably the most consequential debate in the US electoral history, because we had a new candidate just 4 or 5 weeks ago, because the candidate was switched on the Democratic side, and Trump on the other end did not know how to react to it. For the first few weeks, he didn't know even how to run a campaign against a new candidate. So this gives an opportunity for both these candidates to come out and explain their vision to the country. And more importantly, this is going to be watched by several million people. You would not be surprised that this might break the record. So I think overall it's going to be a very interesting debate. And more importantly, as I had mentioned on my prior episode, the spin room after the debate is going to be a lot more important than the content of the debate. So watch out for what each campaign and their spokesperson are saying in the spin room after the debate. Then you know exactly how the narrative is going to be on the next day. So that's it from me today. I'll come back to you with another episode tomorrow. Till then, take care.